Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live from Green Bay, Wisconsin, across the street from Lambeau Field. We're going to hear from Matt LaFleur in a little bit. Then we'll have practice out on Nitschke Field before yet another round of crazy storms scheduled to come through Green Bay. Hopefully they get all the work in before that happens. Hello to everybody in the comments section. Good to see everybody each and every day, Monday through Friday. It's what we do here on Packers Daily. We chat Packers with Packers fans around the world. We tell them all about our favorite stuff like Underdog Fantasy. It's the best and easiest place to play fantasy football for big cash prizes. On Underdog Fantasy, you just draft. No need to worry about waivers, lineups, or injuries. Underdog handles it all for you. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com and download the app. Draft a season-long best ball team, and that's it. No in-season management. You get a free $25 in bonus cash if you use code Cheesehead when you make your first deposit. And you can take your shot at a $1 million grand prize in their fantasy football tournament. But you know what? I hear you out there. You're thinking, fantasy football isn't my thing. It's cool, man. You know what is your thing? You know what is your thing? I know what it is. You might not even understand it. You might not even comprehend it right now. But your thing is the Green Bay Packers official 2021 yearbook. That's why. Go to PackersYearbook.com. Use code CHTV and get 10% off right now on the official yearbook. You can also sign up for their subscription package. You get the Game Day magazine emailed to you every week prior to the game. You get 10% off using code CHTV. And while you're sitting there at your computer ordering your stuff, you know what you really need? You need the sweet, sweet Acme Packers hoodie at VINFL.com. That's VINFL.com. Use code CheeseheadTV for a 15% off discount so you can be looking sweet as you're representing the Packers wherever you go. How is everybody? Hope you're all doing well. I got a couple questions right off the back I want to get to. Lewis starts us off with Nags. Question for you. Is the amount of a team pays its head coach and general manager subject to any cap or limit? No, Lewis, it is not. Hence, the Raiders and son of Davis can give John Gruden that insane contract they handed him a couple years ago. Justin, would somebody tell me what happened to Raven Green? He signed with the Buccaneers and is now missing camp due to injury, which is probably why the Packers allowed him to walk because he was always hurt. I love Raven. Raven's my guy. Great player when he's on the field. Just can't seem to stay on the field. And that's more than likely why the Packers allowed him to go in free agency. Big B is here. What's up, Big B? Hope you're doing well, man. And I am going to see you today. I assume you're going to practice. We will absolutely be hooking up today. That is going to work. I'm going to see you, son. B-Town, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. 3 changes you would make if you ran media at 1265. Well, clearly, I'd have LiveX production doing all the digital work. We'd have live streams of practice. We wouldn't show anything competitive, but we'd have like a watch party feel. Other than that, I'd put probably Andy Herman and Wes as your daily on-camera correspondents. I'd have Pax What She Said doing running commentary for the games, like a multi-stream, second screen experience. Man, there's so many changes I would do. Good Lord. Nicholas, thanks for the super chat. Will there be any Underdog Fantasy drafts for Cheesehead TV Patreon members? Nicholas, I believe there will be. Stay tuned once I get back to New York. Steve Nagler. Steve, what's up? Paul, wide receiver room is insane. There is some talent there. No doubt about it. It's going to be interesting to see who rises and who falls during preseason. But yes, there are a number of ways that could break. No doubt about it. Microphones that worked. Gary, let's slow down. Like, okay, we got some changes when it comes to the content, the equipment, baby steps. There you go. Look at that. How you like that action, huh? Yeah, that's right. Boom. That's right. How you doing? Do we need to provide proof of COVID vaccination to enter Lambeau Field? Todd, not at the moment. Who knows? That could change. I know the Ravens just announced their mask policy, etc. The Packers have, up till now, been saying that you will not have to prove your vaccination status. That could always change. We'll see how the tides turn here in the coming month or so. I hope I can finally go to Lambeau for the first time this year. Eli, I hope so too. Greetings from airplane seats, Steve. Hope you're having a great flight. Hope you travel safe, buddy. Did I get to watch Hard Knocks yet? I watched a little bit last night when I got home, but I fell asleep. So hopefully I'll catch up with it later today. Jose, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, first time super chat, long time listener. Do you know where I can watch Packer preseason games since I don't live in Wisconsin anymore? Actually, 2 of them will be broadcast on NFL Network. I believe it's the second 2, but the first one you can only get in state. There's no streaming option available, unfortunately. But the second 2 you'll be able to get on NFL Network. They announced that a couple of weeks ago. Packers set to release the new throwbacks on August 19th. My money is on the 1936 championship uniforms. That would be dope. Lance, thanks to the super chat. Can we get a thoughts t-shirt? Also, where would one get such items to help support the channel? Lance, just head to the link right below the YouTube page, and you'll see there's a shelf there with a number of our merchandise items. It'll take you right to our store. Your son gets to go to his first Packer game this year, Steve. That is dope. Soak it up, man. Soak it up. Hey, Nags, how is Banky going to get by without you now? Dawson, I think Banky's going to sigh a big, humongous sigh of relief when Friday comes and I fly to New York and he gets his space back to himself again. He has been an incredible host, but it is definitely time. There are quote-unquote other streaming means out there. There are indeed. And I'm sure smart, good-looking listeners can find them. What's up, Nags? Who's your breakout player that was on the team last year and your standout rookie of the year for the green and gold? The rookie of the year, I think it'll be Josh Myers. For a standout that was on the team last year, who could break out this year, I think it's going to be A.J. Dillon. Green Bay Packer Daily, what's up, man? Beer on me. Go Pack Go. Love the content. Thank you, sir. My fantasy name is As Good As It Gets, and I only draft Packers. I consistently come in third every year. That's always been my downfall in fantasy football. The one year I won the championship is because I had Amon Green and he went ham. But I always take way too much. I had such a good team last year. I got Aaron Rodgers and Devontae, and they were killing it. But of course, fantasy playoffs, the 1 week I needed them to come through, they didn't. It was so bad. How has Runyon and Braden competition panning out currently? Kevin, too early to say. They've been taking a rotation. There's no doubt about it. Runyon got all the work in the Hudson Center, which was padless. Braden got most of the work yesterday, which was in pads. So probably a little bit more for the coaching staff to go on in that regard. But Matt keeps saying this will undoubtedly go through the preseason. I don't think they're going to be making any real determinations until at least after 1, if not 2 preseason games. But right now it looks neck and neck because they keep rotating those guys day in and day out. Josiah DeGuara for a breakout player, Brandy. Very, very real possibility. No doubt about it. Defense better or worse than last season? Whew, good question, Greg. I mean, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Right now, I would have to say it's probably going to be very similar in the sense that I keep suspecting they're going to start out slow and then pick up steam as the year goes on. I know that is not ideal, but that's just my hunch. Just my hunch looking at what they're throwing out there on the field right now. Yeah. Now, long way to go. Who knows? Maybe they hit the ground running week 1 and shock the world, but it will be shocking if that happens. How is Kurt Benkert looking? Like a practice squad quarterback. I love Kurt. I love his demeanor. And he's soaking it all in. He had a great throw yesterday in red zone for a touchdown. But, more often than not, it's, he's limited physically, and you can see it a lot of times on some of the deeper throws, etc. But I love his demeanor, and I love how hard he works. And he, like I said, he's soaking it all in. But I'd be absolutely shocked if he's on the 53. Hope he's back on the practice squad. How hard do you think it is to look at a player and see potential? Would you want that job? Brandy, that's what separates the wheat from the chaff when it comes to personnel people. And I always used to tell Elliot Wolf, that's where I could never make it, right? We all watch college, especially from college to the pros. We all watch college tape, quote unquote, which is really just YouTube highlights. And we think, oh, yeah, this guy's going to be great in the league. The whole job is projecting, taking what you see there and understanding that they're still growing, even as just as humans, into their bodies. But then also, where's the potential? What's been untapped? What are they doing that's raw that can be refined? And how is that going to fit into your system? How is that going to fit with the people he's going to be potentially playing with, whether along the line or the wide receiver group, who's his quarterback, etc.? All those things are part of the job. But, during draft time, especially, everyone's just making lists and, oh, this guy can go here and this guy can go there, which doesn't even begin to cover what the gig actually is. So, yeah, that's why those guys make the big bucks if they stick around for 20, 30 years and ascend the ladder of the personnel group. here or elsewhere in the NFL. It's because they've demonstrated that ability consistently. And that's the other thing. Anyone can hit on one guy. But if you can do it consistently and find those guys who do have tons of potential and do have ceilings that have yet to be matched, that's where you're going to separate yourself. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. We should bring in Shane Falco to mentor Love. Love's in need of playing time today, man. He just needs to get on the field. That's all that needs to happen at this point. Do MVS improved hands pass the Nagler eye test? Is that a narrative? Is that what's being said? I haven't noticed one way or the other. I'll have to keep a lookout today. I haven't seen any egregious drops, if that's what you mean, but I don't remember any egregious drops last camp either. So I thought he had a pretty strong camp last year. So yeah, I haven't noticed much different. Dawson, preferred Falco song, Rock Me Amadeus or Dare Commissar? This is a trick question, sir, because Dare Commissar is not a Falco song. So give me Rock Me Amadeus. New game day rule. First team's quarterback to throw a pass into the bucket from 40 yards decides which team kicks or receives. Feels like you're complicating it unnecessarily, but sure, why not? Brad, thanks for the super chat. Happy 102nd birthday to the greatest organization in sports, Go Pack Go. That's right. They do have an August birthday. Is Daphne showing he can make the 53? Sly, he was not a participant early in camp, and he's only kind of been out there now for the last couple of days. Haven't really seen much from him. I do know that he kind of dropped out the other day. I don't know if that's something flaring up injury-wise or what have you. So haven't really seen much. Now, it's still somewhat early. Maybe that changes once preseason starts and he gets out there, especially on special teams, which is where he really helped last year. But yeah, so far he's been pretty, I'm not going to say non-existent, but he certainly hasn't turned any heads at any point. How's Aaron Jones doing? He hasn't participated the last couple of days due to injury, but Matt indicated yesterday that none of the injuries suffered during family night seem to be of long-term concern, but I wouldn't expect Aaron out there for at least a week. Dear Commissar is a Falco song. He did it before the British dudes. I'm going to have to trust you on this one. I like the British dudes version better. Jared Abradaris, nickname Rock Me Abradaris. There you go. Nags, teams can bring back unlimited amount of players from IR this year. Correct. Yes, they have carried over the practice squad and IR rules. So you have to, if you go on IR, you do have to go on for 3 weeks minimum. That is the requirement. But after that, yes, you can be brought back no matter how many times other guys have been brought off. Is EQ hanging in there? He had a really good start to camp when things, before the pads came on. But since then, things have gotten awfully quiet. I know I saw him take his pads off yesterday. I don't know if maybe we'll get some kind of update today. Maybe there's an injury there or what have you. But yeah, after a fast start, he's been kind of quiet. NFL cracking down on taunting. Who gets flagged? Jair? Jair would be a prime candidate. The NFL is so ridiculous. The whole idea of a guy throwing up a peace sign being the fucking impetus for this rule is just beyond me. Or I'm sorry, the rule is competition committee suggesting that the referees emphasize the taunting breakdown. Shut up. These guys are playing a game at 1,000,000 miles an hour. They're all jacked up. They're like running into each other, risking CTE every play, essentially. They score or they stop a guy, and their impulse is to go, yeah, motherfucker, in your face. And all of a sudden it's, oh, no, flag, 15 yards. Can't have that. Golf clap. No, sorry. Drink this tea and crumpets, please. Shut the fuck up. I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being. This is football. It ain't ladies' rec league. It's the NFL. It ain't the Ice Capades. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Gene Charles made the field. Love that pick. Made the field? Well, yeah, he's out there for practice, if that's what you mean. He's looked good in the slot, and that's not something I expected. I asked Jerry Gray about it, and they really like him there, and they've been running him there quite a bit. We'll see how much he can get on the field with the ones, if at all. Right now, that's been Chandon Sullivan's job, but maybe he takes it as the preseason wears on. Sternberger, anything on him? He's having a good camp, I think. It was quiet at first, but he's kind of picked it up these last couple of days. Did some nice things with the ones yesterday. Actually, the last couple of days. Yeah, I mean, that's a free roster spot those first 2 weeks because of the suspension. I think they'll utilize him a little bit. I think he needs to help out on special teams a lot more if he's going to justify sticking around. But I think he's had a solid camp. I haven't seen anything egregious. I saw Josh Jackson is buried on the initial depth chart. Could we get something for him in a trade? Doubtful. I mean, maybe. You never really know, right? But I don't think it'd be much more than somebody else's, guy who needs a new change of scenery type trade. I would a word about depth charts. Don't pay too much attention to anything that the team puts out on Packers.com. That stuff is literally filled out by the PR group and not the coaches. So back to Pack. Thanks for the super chat. Packers birthday, youngest daughter's 6th birthday. Going to be a great day. How are snaps split between Cobb and Amari this season? Pappies. Well, I think, the obvious way to go about it would be to give Randall the bulk early and mix Amari in and then kind of do one of these as the year goes on, increase Amari and decrease Randall. But we'll see. Injury could play a role in there. It's nice to have both of them, kind of maybe possibly being interchangeable. We saw Amari Rodgers take a handoff up the middle yesterday. The more you can do. Dave, thanks for the super chat. Feels like every year they have some new rules emphasis. It lasts 4 to 5 weeks and everyone hates it. Then they return to the status quo. Yeah, but then they still have justification in like week 17 when someone throws up a peace sign and go, oh, remember, we told you. And then they give the guy a flag. And then if you do it twice, you can be thrown out of the game. It's so stupid. It's just stupid. I hate it so much. Thoughts on Taco's novelty hit putting on the Ritz? Oh, a classic of the genre. So is Randall Cobb uncuttable? Dennis, what do you think? The only reason Aaron Rodgers is here is because of Randall Cobb. You think they're going to cut him? Seriously? I mean, unless you want to return to the summer of Rodgers. Yeah, uncuttable. What exactly was that initial depth chart? Why would the Packers put that out? Tom, everyone puts it out every year. They put out a depth chart on the website every single year. All 32 teams do. Josh, thanks for the super chat. I'm convinced that the front office and Rodgers cooked up all this drama to get fans like myself to make the trip to Lambeau for the first time. Josh, I'm going to guess that's not correct, but anything's possible. Definitely possible. Like the video. Yeah, Robin, thanks a lot, buddy. Everybody should like this video. Speaking of which, I got to get going because I got to get across the street for Matt LaFleur. In the meantime, do like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back for extra cheese later this afternoon. Please do hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Go Pack Go.